What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today it's part 7 of what should they do with the Tennessee Titans. Without further ado, please like, please subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and I just want to thank again for 100 subscribers in this channel. I really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. So far, right now, the Tennessee Titans have the 7th overall pick in the draft. They had a record of 6-11 last year, and it was an up and down season for the Tennessee Titans. They came last in their division, and last year, before that, they were fighting for the division title. Now this year, they were the last in their division. And to be honest, when I looked at the AFC South this year, I thought that this could be the future of the future. Like, they have a lot of teams in that division that could be very good. Right? They got the Texans with C.J. Stroud. Sorry for stuttering. Also, they have the Jacksonville Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence, and then Indiana looked really good last year too with Gardner Minshew. But obviously, Anthony Richardson's their quarterback, and he played good until he got injured. And like the Titans are right now in a pickle. Like, they're having really mid roster, and they just don't know what to do. And luckily for them, now they do have one of the most cap space in the league. So I think they have around like 80 million, 90 million in cap space, I think. So, yeah, so they have a lot of leverage when it comes to gaining a lot of talent on their roster. And I'm telling you, the Titans could be good next year if they implement the strategies that I'm going to be talking about today. And, yeah. So let's look at their draft picks right now, right? So obviously I already mentioned that they have the 7th overall pick in the draft. They also have a 2nd-round pick. They don't have a 3rd-round pick. They have a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, a 7th, and 2 7ths. So, realistically, they have a lot to work with. Now, they don't have a 3rd-round pick, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think they lost the 3rd-round pick because they wanted to trade for D-Hop, which I think, in my opinion, is worth it. Like, D-Hop is pretty good. Yeah, D-Hop had a pretty good season last year. So, if you look at Will Levis' stats, let me just quickly bring him up. He's basically their quarterback. It's not Ryan Tannehill. It's Will Levis. He didn't have the best season, but again, he didn't play that much. But when he played, I think he kind of impressed me. Like, he actually impressed me. I didn't think Will Levis was going to be that good. And then coming out of the draft, I think there was a reason why he was a 2nd-round pick when he was projected to be a top 5 pick in the draft, or like top 10 pick last year. But when he played and he had his first game with like 4 touchdowns, I was like, wait, maybe Will Levis might be the guy. Now, the Tennessee Titans really didn't have a good offensive line, and they didn't really have a lot of wide receiver weapons other than DeAndre Hopkins. But in my opinion, the Tennessee Titans can still get some good wide receivers and build around Will Levis. I think Will Levis, you still have to give him another year. I don't think the Titans will draft a quarterback. It just doesn't make sense to draft one. So, yeah. So I think basically what I'm trying to say is I think Will Levis is the guy. Like, he's still the guy for at least for right now. Maybe next year if he doesn't perform well, then you go draft a quarterback. But as of right now, I think you can win with Will Levis. So let's go back. So the guy I think they should draft in the 1st round is not Will Levis. Sorry, Joe Alt. They should definitely draft Joe Alt because, in my opinion, Joe Alt is the best offensive lineman in the draft, and the Tennessee Titans really need offensive linemen. Now, you guys could say, oh, they can go for a receiver, but I think they can buy a receiver. They can probably get one in the offseason. Like, there's a lot of receivers that are available. Like, they can maybe even go for Mike Evans. Like, if they really want to, they can go for Mike Evans. They can probably go for Tyler Boyd, Curtis Samuel. Like, there's a lot of receivers, and probably can get a receiver in the 2nd round too. That's how deep this receiver draft is. But offensive lineman is hit or miss, and like you want to get a good offensive lineman. You want to build the trenches and help your young quarterback grow and develop. Right. So I think, Joe Alt is probably one of the best run blockers and pass blockers. I think he's better at pass blocking than run blocking, but he's still really good. And I think if the Tennessee Titans get him, pair him up with Peter Skoronski, build up the offensive line, maybe buy another offensive lineman in the draft, and then not in the draft, in the free agency, you're chilling. Like, I think Will Levis is going to have, and the Tennessee Titans offense will be a lot better than what we saw last year. Now, Another thing I think they should do is they need an edge rusher. They need an edge rusher to pair up with Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons had a pretty good year. I think he had 8 to 9 sacks last year, which is pretty good. But he needs help in the defensive line, and someone that can help him is probably Darius Robinson. I actually agree with it. Darius Robinson's pretty good out of Missouri. Pretty good. I think obviously Dallas Turner is probably the best edge rusher in the draft, but I think that if they're going to use that pick on Joe Alt, they definitely should go for Darius Robinson or they could even buy an edge rusher also. That's the thing with the Tennessee Titans is that they have so much money, and now that the NFL has increased the salary cap space this year, they have even more money this year. I think they have like 90 million in cap space. So like they got a lot. They got a lot to work with. They can get people like maybe Danielle Hunter. They can probably get maybe Josh Allen. But yeah, there's a lot of options the Tennessee Titans can do when it comes to the edge rusher. But yeah, those are the two main things I think the Titans should fix on. Wide receiver, defensive line, and offensive line. I think their secondary is all right. I mean, I think maybe adding another corner might be good. The cornerback market's pretty good right now. We got people like Jalen Johnson on the market. Like, there's a lot of players that the Tennessee Titans can maybe snag and give good contracts to. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I want you guys to comment down below, like, what you guys think the Tennessee Titans will do this year. Like, do you think next year? Do you think they're gonna be a playoff team? Do you think how many wins you guys got the Tennessee Titans winning? My prediction is that the Tennessee Titans next year will be third in their division. Oh, no, actually, no, they'll still be fourth in division. I think their division is really hard to win next year. I think there'll be maybe 7 wins, maybe at worst 8 wins. I think that AFC South is going to be a tough division to win. When you have people like C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, and Will Levis. And the crazy thing is, that whole draft was literally like other than Trevor Lawrence, like most of those quarterbacks came from last year's draft. So that's kind of crazy in my opinion. But yeah, I got the Tennessee Titans going 7-10. They probably improved by 1 year, 1 win next year, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Tennessee Titans prove me wrong. They win a lot, or they have another tanking season. Will Levis is not the guy, and they have to rethink about their franchise. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you for watching, and as for next time, peace.